There we go. There we go. I gotta check some stuff off my list here. By the way, if I screw anything up, it's because this entire gig is me. Okay. I'll go close the door. Everybody's in the room. Okay, what happened? Oh, I think I got it. What happened to the headphones? I just had them. Okay, why can't I hear myself? What the hell's going on? Hold on, I gotta unplug the microphone. What the hell just happened? Now it's back. There we go. I don't know what the hell happened. I literally just got up. Morning, Olga, Wendy, Chris, Cam. I don't know what the hell just happened. I literally got up to close the door. I get back. And I couldn't hear myself. We'll do some scans. Let me see. Header. This is where I use Trendspider. Morning, Jennifer. To find bullish entries for stocks in different watch lists. And by the way, if you haven't known, market scanner symbols. Let's just say find stocks that were down in the S&P. Let's see. In the S&P 500 that were down last week, but up more than 1% yesterday. I think it should work with that. Find symbols. Let's see. And it basically writes a script for you. And it says, okay, let's find these stocks. And it did. Mondelez. There you go. That wasn't up more than 1% yesterday, was it? I guess not. Maybe it didn't work. Schwab. This one maybe did. Let's see. Let's look at Schwab and what did it do yesterday? Yeah, it was down 0.01. Stocks down last week, but up 1% yesterday. That didn't work. This is AI. Wonder if that counts towards my sidekick stuff. Oxy. It's definitely finding ones that were down last week. Morgan Stanley. Boy, that's a nice stock chart right there. I mean, look at the, okay, so here's what I see, and this is why I say it's a nice chart, and for anybody that wants to learn about this. So you've got an upward trend in this stock, the 200-day, which is that red one, and then the 50-day. That's essentially where I go. Look at the Bollinger Bands. Look at the 9-day and the 21, which are these green and yellow lines right there, and they're going down. but the stock seems to have some direction of a almost like a lake bottom, half under semicircle, and you can think of stocks as having circles. Okay, a stock that's pulling back, it has the top half of the circle. A stock that's going up, it has the bottom half of the circle, and I call them button hooks. Just kind of because it's a button hook pattern where it just kind of changes direction. And that's what I'm seeing with Morgan Stanley right now. If I were buying this one, I would say if I got to 150, let's pull this back here. This is the volume chart. And I like to use this. We're going to pull this the last time it pulled back. So yeah, that 154, 150 area, I would say the 154, 150, between that would be because there's the volume weighted average price at 148. So just round it up, say 150. And I would say in a bull market, that's where I'd want to buy this one. And I like it. But that's how you use the scanner. I actually just like to do my 4-hour. And let's scan the core portfolio Disney. And again, to quote JD Vance, don't say, have you said thank you? Uber dipped under 100 and then got back over 100. I mean, you could have literally bought this a couple of days ago for $94. It's a 6-7% move on October 2nd? Kind of interesting. Let's look at the top stocks. Anything in here? Credo. I did get an alert for Credo yesterday, and I posted that. In fact, I need to go to, let's see, do profile. Let me put this in. Post. No, let's just look at this. Because I do have a story on Credo today. Let me just put this in here. Crypto Credo. There we go. And a buy entry. Buy Credo 147. We'll put that in. So that's the top stocks. That's the only top stock. Let's go to spider sectors. Anything? XLG. Top 50. S&P stocks. Big gets bigger. I mean, that's a great looking stock chart right there. So let's look at the watch list. This is going to have a bunch. Yep. Affirm. Duolingo. FNMA, Frog. I gotta clean this list up. I haven't gotten to that. Lemonade, interesting one. NTAP, Oklo, which is up 2%. Pinterest, which is hanging around that 30. I mean, Pinterest, if I look at, we'll look at that. And the World Cloud, WCLD. Pinterest. So if I just look at a weekly chart of this, okay, and I look at Pinterest, I would say there is a range setting up between 40 and 30. I mean, just let's put it at 40. And then maybe, yeah. I mean, that's, to me, going all the way back to 2023, again, October 2023, this is 2 years. The stock has traded sideways. So I like it. And Sentinel, same kind of thing. I mean, Sentinel just took that dump and never really got back to what it probably should be. But again, cybersecurity is a tough business. Let's go to the index. Let's go to the Dow. Disney's going to be in there. and CRM. Boy, am I glad I got rid of CRM and bought IREN, which is up 220%. Autodesk. CMCSA, Comcast, On, Semi, Paychex. Let's see, and then go to the S&P 100. Abbott Labs, Comcast, Disney, Duke Energy, and Southern Energy. Don't miss these utilities. Look at that. I mean, that goes back to, the beginning of this year. You've had these utilities just continue to climb. This one, if I were looking at it, I'd say it's $100 stock. Then you'd see it probably pull back, but it's a utility. I mean, what do you want? 4 hour. Boom. And see what happens in for anybody that has Trendspider, what happens here is, because this showed up in the scan. So here's what it is. This entry right here at $91, you're still in. What it tells you today when you scan and you look at it is there's a potential of this one even moving higher. And see that purple line that is in the future? That's Trendspider's AI that I've never used, but it's the expected price behavior. And it's all based on this past candles. And so that's just AI saying, hey, maybe this is one. I'm going to put you on a little countdown because I got to go grab some water.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound.
My cup's on the counter if you want. Or I can just go get it myself. Just the bottle. Okay, somebody woke up. Somebody in the audience, just over my monitor, woke up and said, "Don't worry, I'll get it." She takes care of me. So, in pre-market, Taiwan Semiconductor up 1.78%. Netflix is up 1%. Have we reached a bottom in Netflix? 4 hour hasn't gotten me back in, so I'll let you know. Apple and Crazy Apps on the list. Yeah, Jersey, I don't trade gold miners. Just that one. I appreciate you. Thank you. I don't trade. Morning, Scratch Trader. Camillo. Carrie, Vacation Guy. I don't trade gold miners, but good for you. I mean, that's been a sector that just, good sector. So let me make sure I've got everything. We've got this. That OpenAI day, by the way, was just huge. God, that was good. Okay, we got FinViz. I don't need to look at FinViz because I've got Seeking Out. I mean, honestly, it's funny because I got Steve Kress coming up on Thursday. Google Chrome. We will go over IREN because is it too late? I don't think so. I mean, again, open with Google Chrome. Tesla's teaser today. We're going to get an announcement. My take on it is it could be one thing, it could be both things, but the market's kind of pricing in two things. It might be both. Coinbase is just went nuts. We're going to go over crypto because a stat that came up was just shocked me. And again, I don't know why people sit there and watch charts. I mean, set up an alert. Credo is diluting shareholders, just so you know. I will give you what I'm looking at because they are diluting shareholders. So this is interesting. It's part of the pro package. I'm going to go over this one, pure storage, because I think it's interesting. Prediction markets are predicting. We're going to go over one stock that I brought up that's on a watch list that, hey, it soared yesterday and it's continuing to go. OpenAI, I mean, it was masterful. It was just a masterclass in what you want. And this was, several of the apps are available today inside ChatGPT. I mean, that's just, if I could buy that one outright, I would. But I hold Microsoft, and that's why. And this is the guy in charge of Muddy Waters. This is where we're going to go over App 11 because we'll look at the chart a little bit. You had Webbush in the morning upgrade. Hey, this is bullish for App 11, blah, 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 blah. And then it just comes out that perhaps they're not being completely honest. You had Robinhood go down yesterday because of trading in AMD. You had an AMD quant still a buy, but everyone else is like strong buy. So we'll look at that. AMD upgraded on Wall Street. AMD trade was just nuts. This is the insider trade of the year. I mean, they literally turned $6 million. $6 million 2 days ago. Yeah. They made $18 million in profit. And we'll go over the crazy Trump trade because this was up, down, over, out. I mean, there were companies that were rumored in here. There were companies that were absolutely announced, and it was nuts. So we'll go over all that. Fabiano, I'll look at all that. So just FYI, I mean, here's the thing. I got a question about Seeking Alpha. Any specials that I have on renewals, I don't get paid on renewals on Seeking Alpha. I get paid on renewals on Trendspider. Honestly, I mean, I'm hesitant to say it, but get a new email address, charge a new credit card, get the special on Seeking Alpha again, use my link. So, but if you don't want to go through the hassle, then you absolutely should just renew. But Trendspider, if you signed up for the annual plan, Fabiano, I'll get an alert that I'll look at after this. And if you signed up for the annual plan, I'll send you everything that you need to have. But if you signed up for one of the like monthly or 2-week kind of trial things, you don't get anything from me. But honestly, the trials that they have. So if you sign up for Trendspider, again, if you go to the link on Linktree right here, and you just go to Trendspider, these are the prices for the annual plan. And I push the annual plan because I don't think you're going to be able to learn the software in 2 weeks. You're not going to find anything valuable. We are in a bull market, so maybe you'll find something, but you're going to have to use that a hell of a lot to just learn it in 2 weeks. It's a tool that is incredibly powerful, and I make it look very simple, but your screen doesn't look like this on day one. Yeah, so I'll send you everything, Fabiano. Do me a favor, just email me, just in case you didn't get on. I've been having some trouble with the cookies. So email me, go to Linktree, it's up here. It's dailystockpick3 at gmail.com because 1 and 2 were taken, but it's dailystockpick3 at gmail.com. I have to change it because I do own, I got Daily Stock Pick podcast. Dailystockpick at gmail.com ironically was taken, 5 years ago when I started this. But just email me that you got the yearly with a screenshot of the confirmation from Trendspider, because again, the cookies haven't, so you'll save yourself some time just in case you're not in my the affiliate program. Here, I can look. Hold on. I'll look real quick. I can look on mobile. No. So, Fabiano, do me a favor. I haven't gotten any referrals this morning for the annual plan. So, email me and I'll take care of it after this. It's like a 5-minute change. Here's what it is. When you import the 4-hour and stuff like that, there's some restrictions on it. So sometimes if you're not under my affiliate program, it winds up booting you out. And so there's just Trendspider does it on their back end. It's not something that I can do. So I have to just email them, but definitely email me and we'll take care of that. And now, Is there anything? I mean, let's AI energy stocks. Let's see. Are there stocks that? I mean, look at that one. DTE Energy trades okay in the 4-hour hour. CEG. This is Constellation Energy. Literally, it matches buy and hold. VST got you in, got you right back out at $200. I mean, that's putting in a nice shelf right there at $200. It's overvalued, but it's energy. GE Vernova has hit a wall. I like it, but it definitely has hit a wall. BWXT, this one has just taken off. Cameco, which is the winner in nuclear. I mean, that's the one, Argon, which is, again, energy stuff. TLN, which is energy stuff, 377 to 400. PPL Corporation, 35 to 37. Dominion Energy, which we went over. So I've got all kinds of lists. The core is pretty good, though. The core is a solid list of stocks. Tesla's actually down 1%. I think the street's bored with a new Model Y. Maybe that's it. Okay, let me hit record. Good morning. It is Tuesday, October 7th. We're going to go over it. The market went crazy yesterday. There were stocks that were announced that Trump's taking a position in them. And then it was announced, no, we're not taking a position in them. So literally, we went nuts yesterday with several stocks. We'll go over all of that. AMD trade was nuts. AppLovin, we will go over that. Hood had an outage. Robinhood had an outage. OpenAI event was exactly what we thought. This threw me back to Steve Jobs time. And I think OpenAI has it big like that. We'll go over some of the winners. Oscar Healthcare was up. Want to know why? Because maybe the government shutdown is over. Upgrades in the quant. This is something that I'm working on. I'm looking at. Credo diluted shareholders. So if you're a Credo holder, which many people are, because it's one of the top stocks in every list that I've ever gone over. Tesla announcement today, IREN. Is it too late to get in? Because that is up 220%. Congratulations to those that celebrate. And my observations yesterday in the Pro Quant, if you didn't know, I'm trying out the Pro version of Seeking Alpha. It is incredibly expensive. I'm going to go over some things that I've been doing. Again, it's only been a week. Is it worth the money? I'll kind of go over it for you. But where are we? I mean, again, the markets, if you just want to look at the chart, because all we care about is price. And if you look at QQQ, yes, we have confirmation. Yes, we're trading at the top of the Bollinger Band. Yes, the 200-day is moving positive. Yes, the 50, 21, and 9-day they're all moving positive. Yes, the MACD is extended over the oscillator. Yes, the RSI is extended at a 68 relative strength index. Yes, the volume is decent. Yes, the government is still shut down. So, yeah. I mean, we're in a good place. You're in a bull market, and it gets silly in a bull market. VOO, same thing. Same exact thing. You are in an upward trajectory market, and it makes it easy. So yesterday, we had a couple of things. It was announced, critical metals. It soared yesterday. This is CRML, and I'm going to shrink this down to a 5-minute timeline so you can see yesterday's price action. This was Friday, October 3rd, where it just shot up literally from $8 to $15, to nearly 200%. Okay, and that was just late Friday, because I think the CEO went on CNBC and she said, yeah, we might be getting to take over. And then you see throughout that the morning yesterday, oh yeah, we're definitely getting taken over. And then Trump announces, yeah, we're not taking any stake in that. Gaps down. This is a 5-minute chart. It literally halted, went from 13 back to 10. And then it just sat there. It literally just sat there. Now, if you bought at 10 and you bought this dip, the low was 9.15. You're doing pretty well, because you're at $11.37. So if you played that dip, fantastic. Outside the Bollinger Bands on the bottom, you know this company is critical to the U.S. So again, Trump administration not taking any stake in it. But then you had this was the announcement, by the way. This was at 1 o'clock, and you can see the 1 o'clock move. That literally is the 12:10 candle. So at 1 o'clock, the news comes out, blah, blah, blah. It's there. Then you have this at 5:43. Trilogy Metals skyrockets as Trump administration takes 10% stake, OK's Alaska Road project. So this is TMQ. And we can look at a 5-minute chart of this one. It's going to go back to the 4-hour. 4-hour had you in here at $1.60, by the way. You are literally trading at $7.16. If you had taken this trade, you have almost 700% gain in your stock. I mean, again, 4-hour algorithm. It seems to know things sometimes, but you can see in pre-market, post-market yesterday, where it shot up from $2 up to $5, and it's at $7.11 now. This is one you can trade on momentum. But does it make sense to actually get into this one? If you look at TMQ, it's in the quant. This is even before this huge move. The valuation, crazy. They're not making money. The growth, nothing really there. Profitability, nothing there. Momentum, it's been fantastic. You're up 335% in 1 year, and add to it 242% in pre-market. Now, when you look at financials, they have no revenue. No revenue. So is it one you want to own? Probably not. And again, that's the crazy market that we're in. It's up nearly 300% today. And yesterday, AMD. These trades were crazy. We will look at the AMD. Let's look at the chart real quick. Because AMD announced OpenAI announced a partnership with AMD where OpenAI will take some ownership in AMD. And we're going to look at a 5-minute chart. Because this up here in pre-market, when it was announced, you went from 165 down at that support level all the way up to 220, 230 in that neighborhood. Again, stock charts have memories. So if you buy here at 213, is it likely to get back to 230? If we continue in this market, I would say yes. But since then, it's done nothing. And it's not like it's soaring up. And don't you wish you were this guy? 2 trading days ago, Cheddar Flow posted, hey, a whale just bought $6 million of AMD calls. It's super unusual. I was not that whale. Today, OpenAI announced a 10% stake in AMD. Those calls are now up 300%. They made $18 million in 2 days. Do you think the SEC is looking into insider trade? I don't know. Probably not. But AMD got upgraded from to a buy from Jefferies. Okay? They drastically increased their price target from 170 to 300. You are trading at $200 today. The partnership has the potential to generate well over $100 billion from OpenAI, new and existing customers over the next 4 years, according to the analyst. Is it one you want to buy? Again, my thesis on this had nothing to do with OpenAI. My thesis on this was, hey, that 164, which comes from the previous all-time high in November 2021. I said, you know what? I think it's going to set up with this as a support, so I'm going to start adding to it. And yes, I added to it. Now, I'm going to probably continue to add to this position. It's a large position, 5 figures for me, but it's not one of my largest. But my largest positions are 6 and 7 figures. Okay? It is a good stock. This just means, hey, AMD, OpenAI, and NVIDIA can't produce enough chips. Google can't produce enough chips. Guess who's producing all these chips, by the way? It's Taiwan Semi, and this one is taking off too. It's up 2%. But again, AMD was upgraded. Seeking Alpha analysts continue to have it as a hold. And they give you the reasons why. Okay? They give you the reasons why. That's why I like Seeking Alpha. Go and read some of the analysts. Look at this article. Go and read some of the things they're saying. Because it's important for you to know. If you are putting your money into this, you want to know what you're owning. Okay? Seeking Alpha analyst James Ford, one of my favorites, forecasted that the deal has accelerated AMD's growth to $1 trillion valuation with updated data center revenue. If they get to $1 trillion in market cap, they are a $330 billion. Okay? If they get to $1 trillion, that's 3 times where you are today. And then Robinhood broke down. The trade was so crazy yesterday, Robinhood literally had an outage. Now you hear about this all the time. Even Fidelity has my outages sometimes. That's why I have Webull. I'm able to trade in both, but the large majority is in Fidelity. Every now and then I have this. You're just hearing about this because Robinhood is so popular. And it's popular with the social media crowd. That's the only reason. And what else happened yesterday? Well, you had AppLovin upgraded at Wedbush. They said, hey, this is just the beginning. AppLovin, software-based platform for advertisers, the analysts at Wedbush said, hey, this is just the beginning. This is moving up, and it's going to soar. Okay? Then you have AppLovin shares tumble at about 4 o'clock because AppLovin, they said, hey, we've got an SEC probe. And the SEC probe is 100% the short report from Muddy Waters. So you have to decide, is this, AppLovin has said we've done nothing wrong, and the SEC has even come out and said they have done nothing wrong. We don't know, but it's under investigation. It's about advertising and stuff. But you want to know something? They're buying the dip. They are buying the dip. This red candle yesterday that goes down to, let's see, 545. Where are you right now? 605. 605. They're buying the dip. This is up 3%. Any reaction in the market is an open reaction. But if you want to hear exactly why Muddy Waters thought, hey, this was a while ago on the Compound and Friends, but it outlines exactly what the SEC's probe is. So if you're interested in that one, again, I am holding AppLovin. I have a large amount of AppLovin. It's one that I have used from Alpha Picks, and I've added to my winners. But I've got it much lower than it was yesterday. I didn't buy this yesterday at $700. My average purchase price is somewhere in the $200 or $300 range. So I've got a lot of room, but this dip is getting bought. And Alpha Picks, remember, Alpha Picks on Friday, when the stock was around 700, they said trim it. Why? Good portfolio management. And that's one of the benefits of getting Alpha Picks. And it's one of the things that Alpha Picks taught me. They have a rules-based portfolio. And when a stock becomes more than 15% of the overall portfolio, and with AppLovin's crazy upward trajectory, it has grown in that portfolio, they trim, they take the profits, and they distribute it over the entire portfolio. And they said on Friday, yes, go ahead and do that. And they told you at noon to do that. So if you did that on Friday and you trimmed, on Friday, let's just go to October 3rd in the afternoon. You traded between 684 and 675. You could literally buy the stock right now 10% cheaper at $600. So if you wanted to, you just made yourself 10% by trimming and then buying again today. Simple as that. That's why I love the Alpha Picks portfolio. Again, I point people not just to the portfolio, but I point people to get Seeking Alpha Premium and Alpha Picks. I just went over. Hey, AMD, the Seeking Alpha analysts, they're telling you it might be a hold. It might not necessarily be a super strong buy, but they're telling you it might be read the analysis. That's part of premium. And then if you want more information on AppLovin, you can rely on Alpha Picks. They're not going to come out and say, ooh, hey, they're under SEC investigation. We're going to sell them, blah, blah, blah. It's not going to be immediate. It's going to be something that's covered in a summary. So that's why I like premium. That's why I like Alpha Picks. Again, take a look at it, watch it, do whatever you need to do. And if you want more information, again, this is a great, 2.5 minute clip. It tells you exactly why it was a short report. And he's still, by the way, I think Muddy Waters is still short that stock, and he's getting killed. And he even talks about it in that podcast. He was getting killed on this. Now, OpenAI had their developer day yesterday. It went as good as this brought me back to basically Steve Jobs on stage. That's what Sam Altman was yesterday, because they were announcing so many new things. The huge thing that I think, the introduction of app integration was amazing. You can book a hotel using booking.com. You can create things using Canva and Figma. Literally, I could take my Apple Notes of today's show and tell Canva, come up with a PowerPoint deck that I need to present to my executive staff on this. And it does it in OpenAI. It is integrating apps into that app. And so you're going to have this huge super app, which is known as ChatGPT. It's known as Sora. You're going to have this crazy app that is integrating other apps into it. What does that open up? Well, it opened up an app store where they basically will take 30% of the revenue from these folks. They are going to monetize this. It is huge. This puts OpenAI in the world of Apple, in the world of Google, and OpenAI is now considered a kingmaker. Software names like HubSpot shot up, CRM, because they were integrated. What's my play on OpenAI? Because you can't buy OpenAI stock in the open market. My play on OpenAI, it's Microsoft. Not because Microsoft is, hey, Microsoft is their quote unquote closest partner. Honestly, Sam Altman and Satya Nadella probably hate each other based on that negotiation. But Microsoft was the first one to step up and give them compute power back in November 2023 or somewhere in that neighborhood. They gave them $10 billion. They took ownership of OpenAI. So they own a lot of as OpenAI benefits, Microsoft benefits. And yes, OpenAI wanted to get out from under Microsoft's thumb, but they still own a lot of it. So that's, NVIDIA had a partnership with OpenAI. And now AMD has a partnership, and these software names have a partnership. OpenAI is the central core of it, but everybody on the outside that's trying to get in, they now own the gate. They are the gatekeeper. I like it. I loved this presentation. I was watching it yesterday. It was fantastic. So again, I think this is the biggest thing that will happen in the market. It's an AI market, and I think OpenAI just may have taken it from Google and said, you know what? We're going to integrate all these other things, and Google is now playing a little bit of catch up. Now, this kind of goes into this. Can we take a moment to appreciate the game of chess that Sam Altman playing? In a single summer, he reduced OpenAI's dependency on Microsoft, and he did. He signed a multi-billion-dollar deal with Oracle, giving OpenAI access to his second cloud partner. He then locked in partnerships with NVIDIA and AMD, not only securing GPUs at fair prices, but also ensuring both chip makers have a vested interest, because both of those chip makers took ownership into OpenAI in return for their chips. He flipped the industry. And FYI, this guy's a huge Google shareholder. He played a game of chess. Again, I am big on this one. Any name in this tweet, Oracle, Microsoft, NVIDIA, AMD, it's a buy. The only one I don't own is Oracle. I own Google as well, because I think Google is being underestimated in what they could do. Now let's talk about this, the government shutdown. Because one stock that I've named, it went way up. Okay, why? Prediction markets are trimming the odds of a prolonged U.S. shutdown as Trump opens to talk on healthcare. That's the key. They're saying, and Trump said yesterday, hey, we may actually do a deal with Democrats where healthcare is saved. Well, that shot up Oscar. And we can take a look at this. This is at $23. Remember, just a few days ago, Oscar Healthcare was a buy in the 4-hour algorithm at 1950. At 1950. The 4-hour algorithm, it doesn't beat buy and hold, but it makes you 230% over the last 24 months. This is one to be traded. And by the way, down there at 1950, I was saying even at $14, this gap looks good. This gap looks to get filled. Again, using technicals with some fundamentals, with some catalysts, we knew that the Democrats were holding out for healthcare. We also know that Trump doesn't want this damn government shut down. He doesn't want bad news on his head. So Oscar, it went soaring. Remember, this is all about the Affordable Care Act, and Oscar is my insurance company through the Affordable Care Act. It's a sell in the quant. It's a sell on Wall Street. I don't think this one fundamentally is a very good company. But again, you can't argue with a stock that is up 66%. What I think about the fundamentals of the company doesn't matter. I've missed out on 66% gains year to date. That's what it is, because momentum on this in the quant is an A. Because 3 months, you're up 35%, 6 months, 71%, 9 months, 51%, 1 year, you're only up 10%. That's why I say over 1 year, you would have been way better trading this one than it was buying. So again, understand the stocks that you own, where the risks are. One of the things that I get over here, okay, this pro version, I had Seeking Alpha Premium, okay, but there's a pro version on top of that. It is significantly more expensive, and I'm testing this out. And at the end of this podcast, I'm going to give you several things that I've done over the last week that I find beneficial from this pro version, okay? But I like this upgrades and downgrades. And one upgrade is Pure Storage. I have brought this one up before. When they announced earnings, you can see that shoot up there in August. They announced earnings, and I said, ooh, storage is now a big part of the AI theme. Well, The quant, this upgrades and downgrades, it gives you all of the stocks. And I said this morning, I said, ooh, this one just got upgraded and it went from a 3.43 rating to a 4.79 yesterday. And today we're at 4.80. Well, what's changed? It's basically been the valuation. The valuation has changed because, again, they're expecting more money to be spent on AI. It's number 2 out of 28 in the peripherals. What's number 1? Seagate, which is, by the way, a C. Okay, this is 4.92. So don't forget Seagate. Don't forget SanDisk. Let's just SanDisk. There it is. SNDK. Do I have SNDK? No. Let me just put this one in. SNDK. That one is one that has been up since I basically said, hey, I think it's a good buy. You can see 18 analysts cover this. They say it's $79. But if you just look at this over 1 month, you're up 73% in 1 month. And we've seen a little pullback. It's not like you're at all-time highs. And then you've got Western Digital as well. So with Pure Storage comes some of these other names as well, because again, it's all hard drive stuff. Western Digital over 1 month, it's up 35%. Over 6 months, it's up 302%. But again, the reason I found Pure Storage and it reminded me, hey, I've got to keep an eye on this, was the upgrades and downgrades. And then one of the top stocks, it's a top 2025 stock. It's a top second half 2025 stock, and it's an alpha pick stock. So a lot of people hold this. Credo Technologies enters into $750 million share sale. I said, what does that mean? The fuck does that mean? So I went to, again, this is what you should be doing. Don't go and ask a douche on the internet, well, what does that mean? I don't understand this story. Go and ask AI, does this mean they're diluting shareholders? Yes. Credo's announcement of a $750 million at-the-market share offering means the company is issuing new shares and selling them on the open market, which does result in dilution of existing shareholders. So they are raising $750 million by basically going out there and issuing more shares. And they're just saying, hey, we need more money. That's what they're doing. And so the market cap of this company may go up because you're going to buy more shares, but you're not getting anything for those shares. Now, I want to point this out to you because for me, the fact that this is up in pre-market points me to this might be a pretty good buying opportunity, because even though they are diluting shareholders, they are telling you we need more money and we don't, shareholders, we're going to take that money and make you more money. If it stays up, it's a buying opportunity. Oh, and by the way, for anybody that sits out there and just stares at charts, here, I have a buy signal from Trendspider. It was a signal yesterday at 4 o'clock at 147.44. Well, where are you trading right now? 148.41. If you're sitting there and staring at charts all day, trying to find buys and sells, Trendspider is for you. And again, this one, it's a great performance chart. You win 50% of the time. It makes you 439%. Buy and hold makes you 914. I am looking to add to my position. I like the fact that it's up after it's diluting. That shows me strength. That's just me. I'm going to add to this position. I'm also the guy that sold this at 97. Why? Because the 4-hour algorithm got me out back here in July with a 127% gain. I wanted to lock in some profits. Did I make a mistake? Right now it looks that way, but I locked in profits. We are in a silly market. Don't let things get away from you. But I also want to point out a silly part of the market. If you're still on the fence on crypto, let me give you a little stat yesterday that blew my mind. The inflow of money into crypto ETFs, remember, these were just started last January. They haven't been around for 2 years. Okay, QQQ was started somewhere in the 90s. As of yesterday, the inflow of money into the crypto ETF space has exceeded the total inflow of over 25 years into QQQ. Remember, ETFs on crypto just started less than 2 years ago. And there was a surge yesterday. Why? Because BitTime hit an all-time high. You want to know what else hit an all-time high? IBIT. That's one I own. It hit an all-time high. 4-hour algorithm got you in here at 64. I brought that up, that I was buying at 64 because the 4-hour algorithm told me it doesn't beat buy and hold. But I've learned my lesson on crypto. I am using a portion of my overall net worth and I'm putting it into crypto. If Bitcoin falls back to 50,000, I will just start buying again. But this is one, you want to know 20 years from now, what might be a great buy, like legendary, if you're looking to retire in 20 years? It's crypto. Doesn't mean go out and put 100% of your money into meme coins instead. That's how people go poor. I read a story about a guy yesterday who turned like 700,000 into over $10 million over the last 2 years. It was on Reddit. People are begging him, hey, take $9 million of that and just put it into VOO or QQQ. He's like, no way, I'm continuing on my path. That's how you blow up your net worth. That's how you lose money. IBIT for me, all-time high. Want to know what else was up yesterday? One that I brought up a ton, Bitmine Immersion. Why? 4-hour algorithm got me in here at 57. Did I buy it? You bet. I bought more. I like to buy it under 50. I bought a little bit more. It wasn't a lot, maybe 5 shares, something like that. Trading around, it's at $65 right now. So I'm up on everything. Every single buy that I have done in the 4-hour algorithm at 32, everyone at 43, everyone at 57. It has a 100% win rate because remember, this only goes back 4 months. Your average win is 22%. I'm up way on this one. Okay, and another one that I'm way up on, Coinbase. Coinbase, the theory on Coinbase was, and it was very simple. These guys will start selling shares of stocks. They will tokenize stocks. It will be sold in Coinbase. I am buying and holding Coinbase. I noticed that, hey, there's a little platform created right here at around $280 and $300. I started buying at around $300. I bought a bunch of it. Bought more at $334. Now, do we have a top in this one? Maybe. You know, back here, the all-time high back here in November 8th, 368. Have we passed 368 here? 373. 444. So yes, right now it's trading. 392 was the high. 385 is where it's trading today. So again, the 4-hour algorithm got me into this. I am not trading this one. This was a position to start a position in that Coinbase, in my mind, is going to become like Robinhood. They will take their crypto. They will be able to do stop. It will become a super app. Now, Archer Aviation, okay? The Tesla announcement is today. Tesla was up 6% yesterday by the end of the day at some point. Archer Aviation was up 20%. This is down 3%. Okay, the reason yesterday Archer Aviation went up was because they are expected that maybe Tesla gets into this EV taxi in a drone world, EVTOL. That's what Archer Aviation does. But remember, I brought this up before. My only thought process, I don't own Archer Aviation. The only reason I would own Archer Aviation is because I want access to Palmer Luckey's Anduril. Okay? They are buddies. They partner on some hardware stuff. And the CEO of Archer is very good friends with Palmer Luckey. If I were to buy it, that would be my thesis. My thesis would not be Tesla. But I put my money on today's Tesla announcement being a lower cost Model Y. Does this change the game? Not really. I mean, Musk is still in purgatory for his political stuff. He's back there. Again, my theory on Tesla is about robotics. It's not the cars. And if they make a lower cost Tesla Model Y, maybe those become cybercabs. So again, have a thesis, know why you're holding a stock, and don't just go out and buy Archer Aviation because maybe Tesla is getting in business with them. That is a catalyst. It was a trade yesterday, but maybe they announced both today. Maybe. Now, Sam, I talked to Sam a little bit. We may do a collaboration. He's killing it on YouTube. And his portfolio on a Savvy Trader, just unbelievably doing well. Now, he said, hey, Iron, he thought IREN was done at 20. He thought it was a great hold at 20. But imagine, you're the chief product officer, the VP of product over at Shopify. And imagine on August 29th, you decide, you know what? I'm going to take my all my profits that I've gotten on NVIDIA over the last few years, and I'm just going to put it all into IREN. That's what he did. David Wirtz, the VP of product over at Shopify, also the founder of Google Drive, he saw the opportunity. He took it. Now, IREN, since August 29th, IREN on August 29th was trading at, let's see, 29th, $29. He's nearly doubled his money in just over a couple of months. Is it too late? Probably not. Probably not. Again, Sam thought he was late at 21. It's probably not, because look at this. Multi-year AI cloud deals for NVIDIA Blackwell GPU deployments. They're adding to this is a YOLO stock. Understand, it is a YOLO stock, but this is raising it by 8%. I am trading this on the 4-hour algorithm. Yes, I got in there around 17. I think it was around a little bit afterwards, around 18 or so. And yes, I sat through that little pullback after their earnings. What was my logic on this? I put it in the newsletter. I basically told everybody in this newsletter, hey, here's my theory. Nebius, which is a data center cloud, they went up 50% on their earnings. And prior to the Nebius earnings, I said, you know what? I want to own this one because and this had better fundamentals. It had better fundamentals than Nebius. I looked that up in Seeking Alpha and I compared the two and I said, you know what? I want this. And so I bought it around 17, 18. I'm up like 250% on this one. So you've got YOLO stocks that are continuing gain. Again, I am not some type of genius. I am just looking at these stocks with risk and reward. And specifically with IREN, I said, you know what? This 4-hour algorithm has a good trade. I might as well take it because I think there's hype on the horizon and I'm protected by. I am shocked that more people don't buy the annual plan on Trendspider. It's expensive. By $50 a month, you're telling me if you can't find stocks that trade well on a strategy that is back tested and you use it as an advisor. I don't trade this on a robot, but I use it and I say, you know what? I've got the ability to make 1,500% over the last 24 months by just buying and holding. Where am I going to get in? Well, when the 4-hour algorithm tells me to. Where am I going to get out? When the 4-hour algorithm tells me to. You use it as an advisor. It takes all emotions out of the trade. And that's why I like Trendspider. Now let's talk about Seeking Alpha the Pro version. Okay, there's a couple of observations that I want to have. One thing that Alpha Pix has is a minimum market cap. And I've noticed, over the past few weeks, since I think it's been 2 weeks that I've had the Seeking Alpha Pro, the market cap on Alpha Pix is like $500 million. So if it's closer to $500 million, when we get the Alpha Pix, you can get a 10% pop on this. Well, yesterday, the Pro portfolio is far different than the Alpha Pix portfolio. I like the Alpha Pix portfolio. Less work. There's a lot more work in this pro quant portfolio. It is an even weighted portfolio. So you have to constantly rebalance your portfolio on a weekly basis. So don't think that this is just, hey, here's the stock and here's where you can buy it. You can do that, but I don't think you'll have the same performance as the pro quant. The other thing is that they do kind of, they take the Friday close price, but they tell you to buy it on Monday. So there's a little bit, hey, the gains, they may not be perfectly aligned. But again, yesterday, there was a stock listed as a buy in the Pro Quant portfolio, had a $300 million market cap, was up 15% by the end of the day. So yes, I could have gone into Trendspider, taken this, and I looked at it. It was up like 4 or 5% when they announced it. It got to 15%. I could have traded this on a 5-minute chart, and it's not IREN, by the way. It's a stock with a $300 million market cap. Again, a lower market cap with a high subscriber base like you have in the Pro Quant. There's a lot of pros, and they go out and they buy it, so it pumps the stock. It's clear the Pro Quant has the ability to pump some of these stock. A second stock yesterday that it was a new buy for the portfolio went up 13% for the same reason. And again, when you looked at the chart, you had the ability to actually trade this. But remember, and this is a disclaimer that I'm going to post in the newsletter for everybody to read, but I'll just read it right now. Pro Quant portfolio was developed in response to extensive feedback from Alpha Picks and premium subscribers. The top request was clear: a fixed equal weight portfolio offering more frequent quant-based recommendations like Alpha Picks. As a result, the portfolio weights and weekly rebalancing are essential components of the product. The quant model relies on Friday's closing price, or the closing price of the last trading day, to calculate weights for the next rebalance. That's why it's calculated based on Friday's price, because they want to weight it in the portfolio, and they can't determine the price, unless they do some type of live trading, which they don't want to do. The timing is intentional to avoid trading during illiquid pre or post market hours. The model cannot use Monday's opening price or the VWAP, as those values are not available in advance and therefore cannot be used to calculate the weights. Again, subscribers are encouraged to make their own decisions regarding which stocks to buy, when to buy them, at what amounts. So that's the portfolio. It is an equal weighted portfolio. If you don't know what an equal weighted portfolio is, you should not subscribe to the Pro Quant. Simple as that. If you have to go and look that up, you are not ready to spend the money on this Pro Quant. Get Alpha Picks. I'm not convinced that I personally would pay over $2,000 for a yearly subscription to this currently. Okay, I'm still testing it out. I think it's easy for me to justify that I could make $2,000. I could have made $2,000 yesterday just based on the amount of capital that I have and the amount of trading that I have and the amount that I could do. I could easily taken a 20K trade yesterday, which is regular for me in stocks that I believe in, and taken $20,000 and made over $2,000 on each of those trades. But I would have risked $40,000. Again, that would have been me yesterday paying for the entire subscription. The Alpha Picks portfolio is far different and more what I would consider my trading style to be. Okay? The other thing that's incredibly useful in the Pro Quant, again, I pointed out this upgrades and downgrades. There were quite a bit, but I want to be clear. I haven't taken one trade based on the Pro Quant portfolio or based on the upgrades and downgrades yet. I have not found, and it's not that I don't find it useful. It doesn't fit my style. So if your style is that you're in and watching charts all day and you're setting alerts and you're doing that stuff, the Pro Quant is for you. Honest to God, this is a quality portfolio, not just for the equal weighted portfolio, but for trading, because you get the upgrades and downgrades in the quant. And again, that has some market moving powers. So, I'm just seeing this story. Dell soars after raising long-term revenue earnings per share target. I mean, Dell is up 5%. I sold this one at 113. My mistake. It's a strong buy in the quant, 4.78. Why? Because they're selling all their damn racks to companies. And you can see SMCI at 56.91. Year to date, this is up 86%. It's an AI market. It is clear. Find the stocks that you like that have association with AI. And until the bull market stops, you can make some money. You won't have any kind of alert that, hey, the bull market has stopped. But the signs will be there if you follow the chart. So let's talk about the charts, because I just did some scans. Well, Disney, which, by the way, got a huge upgrade yesterday, and I think it's a $121 stock. Again, at some point in time, this gets back to 120, and that's a pretty good move from 113. Has a buy in the 4-hour algorithm. Want to know what else has a buy in the 4-hour algorithm? Uber. Uber at $100. You could have bought this just a few weeks ago at 94. You could have bought the dip down here on October 2nd to 94. It's a $100 stock. Now that it's up $100, the 4-hour algorithm says, hey, buy it at 400, at 100. Go and look up Uber. It's a strong buy in the quant. The only issue is the valuation, 27 times forward earnings. But their growth, phenomenal. Profitability, unbelievable. Momentum, over 1 year, you're up 34%. Revisions, they're revising it higher. There's 13 earnings per share down. But this is a company that has clearly figured things out. Then you have Credo. We went over Credo. You also have one of my favorite ETFs, XLG. Not XLF, G. XLG. Oh, let me type if I can type it in. XLG is the top 50 S&P stocks. I like large cap. Kill me. It's large cap. But you can see XLG 44 here back in April. It's at 58, 21%. The 4-hour algorithm, 50% win, 50% losses, 18 positions over 24 months. If you want to buy and hold something, I think this continues to get bigger. And look at that. I mean, that's a great stock chart. Is it extended? Absolutely. Every chart in this market is extended. So pick your winners, cut your losers. If you're losing in this market, buy VOO and chill, because you ain't got the chops. This is an easy market. If you have any questions, hit me up. Everything's on Linktree, linktr.ee/dailystockpick. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Boom, boom, boom. I don't want to badmouth the pro version, but that's a big lift for me to ask somebody to pay $2,000 a year. Again, I don't know the financial situation of everybody. Some are better than others. Some have way more money than me, probably. Maybe. I don't know if you're listening to a podcast guy on stocks if you have a huge portfolio, but I listen to it. I mean, I guess I do. But again, I think you could justify, it's a good... Oh, wow. I guess I was loud. Okay. Boom. And that's a green screen. Copy. And we're going to put in this. And we're going to put this. Wow. We're going to put in this. Export file. Copy. Next. Save. Boom. Now I've got to go to Canva and do a thumbnail. What's my title? Market Madness, Trump Stocks Explode. OpenAI's epic event. Do, 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 do. Morning, Rosa. Morning, Mark. Ugh. Let's see. Choose a premium template. Let's take him out. We'll put me in. Uploads. We'll use this one. This is the most high-res photo I have. That's why I use it so much. 43. That is 27.8. Let's do. And I'm gonna take that copy. Let's use uploads. Let's go grab AMD. We'll do this to one color because I want it white. Do white. And uploads. Figma. Do circle, there's my Figma. And we're gonna go one color. Oh, you know what? And then I'm just gonna take that over here and group. DoorDash. Constellation Energy. Do Hims, Rigetti. We'll put going to take copy, do this in black, and we'll do it in bold, and okay. Boom. There we go. Let's do a background. Let's see. Elements. I'm gonna expand that out, and we'll put this backward to the back. There we go. And uploads. Let's go down to the bottom, and we'll put Trendspider. And seeking alpha. Whoa. Oh. Let's see. I need some more. Uber. We'll do this to white. One color. There we go. And we'll put NVIDIA in there as well. Maybe I want... Microsoft. We're gonna do this to one color. We'll do apply effects, and then we'll do that, and then we'll do this. As close as we can. And there we go. Group. NVIDIA. There we go. Put that guy in there. There we go. That's a basic one. Download. Feed your following, please. I think it's raced to 1 million or something. I don't know. Go and here. AI prompt Bob. There's a Reddit link. That's Threads. I'm not in there. But there's a Reddit link. Their Reddit community. Go and join the community. Race to 10 million. So go and join the Reddit community. I don't talk about it much. I'm in there every now and then. I like Reddit though. It's a good one. Okay, and with that, I'm out of here. My Webull account, by the way, it is solidly at 14.7. You can see. I'm down today, $86. Mainly, Nvidia's up 1.2%. IBIT is down 1.3%. Spotfiy is down 1.27. I typically don't. I haven't been trading in that one. I've just kind of been holding. My Fidelity account, I'm up 0.07, and it's probably because Apple. I mean, let's look at Apple. Apple's up 0.25. Amazon's up 0.06. Google, which are my top holdings. I mean, Hood's down 1.13. IBIT, I do own a good amount of IBIT in that portfolio. Palantir's up. I don't own that one. Nvidia's up. Netflix is up 1%. Shopify's up 1%. I mean, Shopify's going to that 176. So Walmart is down 1.5%. Again, over 100. Walmart is having a problem holding that over 100 mark. But I'm doing well. Let me just see. Yeah, Fabiano, I still don't have you in there, so I'll work with. When you email me, I'll work with. My friends are texting me. They wake up in the morning and then they look and they're saying an SEC investigation into AppLovin means a buy, right? That's the text I get. Means a buy, right? I don't give guidance. I tell people, hey, the risk is it's actually true. The reward is, it's not true. We haven't exactly done anything, which, by the way, the management team says they haven't done anything wrong. So, and then I've got to resize Instagram post. Okay, it did it. Okay, I am out of here. You guys have a great day. See you guys.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, right as we grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.